Hey, I'm at the site of our most recent project here in Michigan City, and today's video is going to be a little more raw than I typically do. Just wanted to take you through sort of the process of how I come up with a purchase price, or I guess how to decide if I even want to buy a property. And I'm even second guessing myself on this one a little bit, but I think it's easy for people to see the after photos and videos, and then it's kind of a no-brainer. But I think this is going to be an excellent project, even though it's hard to see at this point. And so kind of wanted to show you what I think a great project looks like, because a lot of times people envision paint and carpet, and those are good if you can get them, but a lot of times those are tough to come by. So the greenhouse here, and I'm just going to walk around back first in the backyard and show you what we're looking at back there. It's quite a jungle, and then we'll go inside and take a look at a few things. So I'm walking around the backyard, and I realized yesterday the clip that I did of the backyard did not record, and so I had to come back today to record the backyard here. So the main thing that I'm looking at when I look at these properties, there's a couple things. So number one is obviously location. You always hear the old saying in real estate, location, 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 and it's so true. Location is key. And so you've got something like this when you look at the backyard, and it is just an absolute jungle. There's the back of the house, and it's hard to look past this and think this could be a beautiful backyard that somebody could enjoy, but that's exactly what it's going to be. It's going to take probably 2 full days to come in here, clear out. There's like 5 sheds back here that you can't even see. There's like trails throughout the backyard here, but 2 full days to come in, just clear it all out, and this is going to be an absolutely gorgeous backyard. And the key is that this is in a perfect location. This is closer to the beach than the last couple that I've done. It's walking distance to the beach, so I'm paying a little bit more, but it's in a neighborhood that's already, a lot of the houses have already turned over and are either short-term rentals, or they're really nice residential houses that people are living in, and so you pay a little bit more, but there's a lot more upside in a location like this. All right, so we're in the basement, and it's pretty rough down here. It smells pretty bad, and there's a lot of stuff all over the place down here. But this is a split level home. You got a bedroom down there in the lower living area. It's really not a basement, it's sort of a lower living area. And then you've got a living space out here. There's actually another bedroom behind me back here. But you can see they're in pretty rough condition, and all of it needs to be gutted. So what I look for when I first come into a property like this is, as you can see over here, you've got a toilet which is plumbed, so you've got plumbing for a bathroom down here. And then if we look here at the mechanicals, we've got a furnace and a hot water heater. They're almost brand new. They're maybe a couple years old. The hot water heater is brand new, just a few weeks ago, I think. The furnace is maybe a couple years old. So these are big ticket items that that typically would cost you a lot to replace, but they're okay. So I can replace all the smell and get rid of all the garbage pretty cheaply, but new mechanicals are going to cost you. And then if you look up here at the ceiling, this is the other thing I look at, is it's already got PVC piping, so it's not a 100-year-old house. It's plumbed out with some updated plumbing. It still has some galvanized plumbing, but it's got some updated as well. And then I look at the electric box, which is tough to see in the dark here. There's not a light over here, but it's fairly updated electrically. You got conduit and you got Romex, and so when I see that and I don't see like knob and tube, I know that we've got much more updated plumbing or electrical. And this was built in the 70s, so that's a good indicator when you see a house built in the 70s that probably you're going to be able to keep a lot of those mechanicals. So I love this type of stuff where you walk in, this is exactly what you want. You want a house in a good location that is just nasty inside, because that's all stuff you can fix, but it's got good bones. It's got, you know, foundation wise, there's no cracks, no water down here, good mechanicals, good plumbing and electrical, you know, stuff that's big ticket items that, you know, typically would cost you quite a bit. So this is the other bedroom down here, and it's a nice sized bedroom. So we're dealing with a 4-2 here, as opposed to the 3-1s that I've been doing in this area. And this is like a mile closer to the beach than the other one. The other few that I've done recently have been about 2 miles from the beach, and they've worked really well as Airbnb. So this one is even closer, and it's a 4-2, so it sleeps a lot more people. All right, so this is the hallway upstairs to the bedrooms and bathrooms, and yeah, you can see that there's a lot of work to be done here, and it is tough to stomach that smell. So you know, it's just a lot to get done, and it's a lot. It's overwhelming for somebody who's a new rehabber. This room is nice, you know, it's moving ready right here. So it's, you know, it can be overwhelming when you walk into places like this, but I wanted to show you that, you know, I'll do a after video in this house as well, and you can see the change then, the transformation. Here's the kitchen. There's no, I guess there are cabinet doors, but it's the old, you know, original cabinets, and these actually are great cabinets. These you can take out and put in a garage or use in a laundry room or something, but they're just not very updated. And then back here, this deck that you couldn't even see from the yard. I'll show you what the yard looks like from up here. So this is the yard up here. So you can see it is just a straight up jungle back here. So like I said, I'll do a video here after as well and show you what the transformation looks like. But I just want to point out some of the main features that I look for in a property, and you know, I don't have a crystal ball, so who knows? Maybe this one is going to be, after, you know, doing 100 rehabs, this one, you know, I'm going to fall on my butt a little bit on this one, which I've done before, you know, but we got it for a really good price. So this one we actually purchased it for $75,000, and the comps that are all rehabbed around this area are like 210 to 220. So, you know, I think there's a lot of room in there, and so I've got a landscaper coming to first clear everything out. And then I got a demo crew coming to clean out all the garbage. And then I'll get a quote from the different trades, and I'll just line them up back to back. And really, that's what you get paid for as a rehabber. You know, you don't get paid to do paint and carpet. You get paid to take on big projects and break them down into smaller chunks. Now, you can go out and hire one guy to do it all, and he's gonna upcharge you because he's gonna pad everything. But you can take that padding out by hiring each individual trade and, you know, being the GC on the project essentially, even if you have a guy that's sort of your main contractor. So that's the plan for this one, and we'll check back in, and probably about 6 to 8 weeks we'll have a pretty, you know, this will be coming along pretty good. Probably a full 8 to have it completed fully, but my hope is today is July 1st, and I'm hoping to have it on the market, or not on the market, on Airbnb for listing on September 1st. So we'll see what we can do here, but that's the target. So we'll see how it turns out. It's July 12th. The last video was on July 1st, but we had, you know, the 4th of July weekend in there, and then one other weekend as well. And so it's really been just a week's worth of work. It hasn't been, you know, probably 6 full days. And this house is totally different. And there's a point that I want to make here about, you know, the impact that the work that was done in the first 6 days here can have in the amount of money that you can make as an investor if you really understand this. But first I want to kind of just walk through real quick again and show you the changes that were made here. All right, so we're going downstairs here, and if you remember, this was just full of stuff, and the smell, I can I can assure you the smell is much better. It doesn't hit you when you open your car door on the street now, all the way from inside. It still isn't super fresh and clean, but it's on its way. So everything is cleared out. There used to be a room here with a closet that was just full of stuff. The cockroaches and bugs were bad. They were really, really bad here. So this is all gonna be open over here. We're gonna add a bathroom over here and then 2 bedrooms over on this side. So we're basically all ready to frame. I thought actually at this point we'd be done with rough plumbing. They're starting that this week. They're gonna frame out that whole basement this week. And up here, everything's cleared out. So this nasty bathroom, it's all cleared out, ready for the plumber to come in. The bedrooms are all open. This is all hardwood floor that was, in the hallway here, this had like 3 or 4 layers of flooring on it. So we got all our materials lined up here, ready to start this week. It's a Sunday night right now, so we're getting ready to kick off a new week here. Put brand new plywood here in the kitchen, and we'll have new cabinets and stuff. But this is the real crazy part of this whole thing, is that this backyard is totally cleared out now. So this was the jungle that you could barely walk through. And as of this morning, we wrapped up back here and had a whole crew of guys back here grinding stumps, chopping stuff down with their chainsaws, and it's totally cleared out now. So the point that I want to make on this one is the reason that I target houses like this that are just, they smell terrible, they're kind of like hoarder houses. There's garbage stacked up in them, and the backyard is a jungle, things like that, is because over a period of 6 days worth of work, it was, the cheapest trade that I could pay was the demo crew to come in here, clean out the whole house, and then I paid a landscaper a couple $1,000s. So I think overall, with all the trips we took to the dump, it was probably, inside was probably about $4,000 to $5,000, and outside was $2,000 to clear it all out. And now, so a max of $7,000 was spent, and this house is night and day difference. And that's, I made the biggest impact, because if you think about residential real estate, it's all based on emotion. People walk in and it's an emotional connection that they have to the house, and that's a lot of times how price is dictated, especially on these residential investment properties. With commercial, it's a lot different. It's mostly purely based on numbers, but residential is based on emotion. So you're making the biggest impact on emotion with the lowest cost labor. And so if you compare that to, like, if you find a house that looks nice, but it's, like the plumbing is totally outdated and it's falling apart, so you have to replace the plumbing. So you purchase that house, you replace all the plumbing, and the house still looks exactly the same afterwards. So you paid for the highest cost trade, typically the plumber, to come in, because they're licensed, they have to get a special permit to come in and do it all. So they're going to be the highest cost. They come in and change all the plumbing out, and the house doesn't look any different. And so it's a better house because it has new plumbing, but a buyer probably isn't going to pay any different. It's going to pay the same for that house that they would have paid for the outdated plumbing house. So it didn't change the value much at all, typically, or maybe slightly. Compared to this house, I spent $7,000 on the cheapest labor there is. There's no special certification to be a demo crew. You can hire anyone, any able body off the street for a pretty low wage to come in and just clean out the house. And now I could put this house on the market as is, and I could probably sell it for $30,000 more than I bought it for just a couple weeks ago. So, it's a massive impact that we made here by just doing the low cost items. So that's why I say always target those houses that, this one was built in 1975. The mechanicals are great, so we're going to upgrade everything, but I was able to get a great deal because there was no way they could list this on the MLS. There was, a homeowner isn't going to be able to walk in this house and think of it as their own when they're hit with that smell and they see cockroaches all over and garbage piled high. So So that's just the final little lesson that I wanted to share on this one, and it's just really cool when you can see the transformation on something like this. So if you like this video, give me a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button. There's videos like this that come out on a weekly basis. You can also join our Facebook group, Living Off Rentals Facebook group over on Facebook, and I will see you in the next video.